So you clicked on this video because you are going through a difficult time in your life right now. You're not alone. Pain and suffering are an inevitable part of life experience. In this video, I'll be sharing some tips on how to navigate difficult times in your life. Like I said earlier, difficult times are part and parcel of life experience. From losing a loved one to a separation, maybe a divorce or a breakup, or the ending of a friendship, to moving to a new place and starting all over again. These difficult experiences that we have cause us emotional and psychological wounds, which take time to heal. My first tip is learning how to acknowledge your emotions. In my first video, I talked about emotional intelligence. I gave the definition of emotional intelligence, which is our ability to identify, to understand, and to manage our emotions. Emotional intelligence is a skill that you need to build, especially now that you're going through a hard time. You need to learn how to properly manage the negative emotions that you feel right now, the grief, the anger, the suffering, the loss, the loneliness. Most of the time, these emotions can be very overwhelming. When it comes to dealing with the negative emotions that you're facing right now, you must always remember that you cannot run away from your emotions. Why am I saying this? It's our natural tendency to run away from pain. When we are physically hurt, we rely on medications to numb or suppress the pain. And there's nothing wrong there because most times when it comes to the body, we don't need to feel pain in order to heal. But emotional pain is different. Emotions are our mind's response to our experiences. If you have positive experiences, you have positive emotions. And when you have negative experiences, your mind responds with negative emotions. In this way, emotions are like an anchor to our reality. Every time that you run away from your emotions or try to numb your emotions, you are running away from your reality. I know you're experiencing a lot of pain and a lot of negative emotions. And our first instinct is to run away from them, to numb those emotions. Many people run to alcohol, drugs, movies, even relationships in an attempt to escape what they are feeling. This isn't healthy in the long run. You suppressing your emotions will not make them go away. You still have to deal with them sooner or later. So you have to learn how to take out time to process your emotions and acknowledge them. One powerful tool that you can use for this is journaling. Writing down how you're feeling or what you're thinking will help you process your experience. Another way that can help you process your pain during this time is crying. When you cry, it helps to release some of those emotions. And most times you find that after crying, you feel much better. In summary, don't run away from your emotions. I know that they're hard and they're painful, and there'll be so many moments where it feels like you can't go on, it feels like you can't handle them. But trust me, you can. And when you give yourself more time to acknowledge what you're feeling, you get started on your healing journey because nobody heals by ignoring the problem. My second tip for you is by finding things that you love to do and making them part of your everyday routine. As much as possible, you need to do things that make you happy. This can be difficult because most times when we are in pain, we lose interest in a lot of the things that made us happy before. But it is very important that during this time, you find things that can bring you joy and comfort. You could be watching a movie, eating your favorite food, listening to your favorite music, taking a warm bath. My third tip is self care. When you're going through emotional pain, I know that the last thing on your mind is taking care of yourself, but it is very crucial that you take care of yourself. What do I mean by taking care of yourself? I mean the basics like getting enough sleep, eating, taking your bath, cleaning up your house. If you're living alone, you have to try as much as possible, especially if you're living alone and you don't have anybody around you who can take care of you, who can check up on you, who can make sure you're eating well, who can make sure that you're sleeping well, who can make sure that you're taking your bath at least once a day. It is important that you do those things for yourself, even if that's the only thing that you do for yourself during this period. My next tip for you is to lean on your support system. If you are lucky to have people in your life who are there for you, then by all means, reach out to them. Don't push people away. I know it's a tendency that we all have, especially because it always feels like nobody will get what you're going through. And that's fact. Nobody can get what you're going through. The same way that you cannot understand fully what someone else you care about is going through. That's the same way they cannot 100% understand what you're going through. But think about the time where somebody that you cared about was going through a difficult time and you felt genuine love and care and concern for this person. You might not have fully understood what they were going through, but you wanted to be there for this person. In the same way, when it comes to you, if you have people in your life who are genuinely concerned about you, don't push them away. As humans, we are social beings. You cannot exist in isolation, most especially when you are going through a difficult time. This is where you need a community to keep you afloat, to give you reasons to continue. Let me use myself as an example. I'm an introvert, and on a normal, I tend to not need people necessarily. I like to live in my own world, and it's very difficult for me to let people in. But I found that whenever I manage to let someone in or reach out and ask for help, it always makes me feel so much better. My next tip for you is that you need to learn how to shift your perspective. This is because when we are having a negative experience, it's so easy for us to sink into this hole of self defeating thoughts and negative belief patterns. And this will not help you in the long run. So it is important that you challenge some of your thoughts and some of your beliefs during this time. A common negative belief that people have when they are going through a difficult time is believing that they cannot get through that time or believing that whatever it is that they're facing is stronger than them. Yes, I understand that when you are in this state, everything feels overwhelming. And most times, when you feel down, you have thoughts of, oh, I cannot get through this. How am I going to survive this? This is going to defeat me. This is going to ruin my life. Like, how am I going to get out of this? But when we look at the stories of some of the greatest people in the world, we find that they encountered a lot of challenges, that they had a lot of painful life experiences. When you look at their life's journey, you also find that the reason why they were able to get to where they are now is because of those life experiences. They were able to create a great life for themselves despite what they went through because along the way they were able to transform that challenge in their lives into a stepping stone. This can be a shift in perspective for you. Instead of feeling that you are at the end of your rope or that you cannot go further than this because of whatever it is that you're facing, see yourself surmounting this challenge right now and becoming a bigger, better version of yourself and creating an even better life for yourself. Another powerful tool that can help you shift your perspective over time is gratitude. I know it's so hard to find things to be grateful for when you have been hit by something terrible. But over time, if you don't cling to aspects of your life that are good, you're going to see everything in a bad light. And this will not help you in healing. Gratitude is a great practice to begin to shift your focus from the negative things in your life to the positive. Not only will it make you happier over time and bring you peace and contentment, but it will also give you the energy and the optimism to move on and become better. Practicing gratitude is very easy. It's as simple as thinking about three things that you're grateful for every day. You can go the extra step of writing them down because trust me, things can always get worse than they are. Maybe the things that you can find gratitude in are that you still have people in your life who are there to support you, or that you're young and you're healthy and you still have your whole life ahead of you to rewrite your story, or that you simply have food on the table to eat. In essence, you can always find something in your life to be grateful for. Another negative belief which people usually have when they are facing challenges is thinking that they do not deserve to heal or that they do not deserve a better life. Maybe you're having survivor's guilt. For example, if you lose somebody and it almost feels like why should I move on? Or why should I be happy when this person is no longer in my life? That kind of thinking can keep you stuck because then you begin to self sabotage your healing journey. So it's important that you change that belief and realize that everybody deserves to be happy. My next tip for you is to create a daily routine for yourself, especially a morning and a night routine. Having a routine will help create order in your life and make you feel more in control. My final tip for you is to seek out professional help. I'm a big proponent of therapy. I believe that everybody should have access to therapy, most especially when you're going through a difficult time in your life. If you're lucky to have access to a licensed mental health professional, I would advise you to go for it. And I say lucky because therapy is not something that's accessible to everybody because of the cost or even because of the lack of availability. Going through therapy will give you the tools to process what is happening to you and navigate through it successfully. Also, support groups are incredibly beneficial. Most of the time, like I mentioned, not everyone around you will understand what it is you're going through. But if you're able to connect with other people who have experienced or are experiencing what you're going through, and it's this community where everybody comes together to support each other, it can help you feel not alone. Internet and technology has made it so easy for people to create communities from different parts of the world. I've come to the end of this video. I encourage you to not give up on yourself during this time. You can always rewrite your story. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. I hope these tips that I've shared will make your days easier. If you enjoyed this video and you want to listen to more like this, please subscribe to my channel.